Let's take you through last year, goals for this year, the wins, the losses, the warts and all. Hi everybody, Sam from Renewables, and we're going to do another business update really. We've not done one of these for 2024 because, being very honest, I burnt out towards the end of 2023. 2023 was a lot of difference. We've got this place, new members of staff, new things happening, and just lots and lots of work to get through. And it got towards November, December time, and I was ready for Christmas. And if you're a tradesperson watching this, I'm pretty sure you'll have been in the same boat. So I basically got my head down and ran towards that Christmas 2 weeks off. So this is a very belated roundup of 2023, goals for 2024, and just a little talk about the wins and losses for 2023 and what we've learned, and also take you through a few changes that we've made here. So let's get into it. So 2023. Wow, what a year 2023 was. So many lessons learned about my role in Oval. My role changed probably more so than anybody's. As I was reflecting over Christmas and New Year, I realised that I'd gone from a manual installer on site, electrician on site, commissioning, doing what I love to do, which is out there fitting these pieces of equipment, to a owner of a company, which kind of sounds obvious, and I still obviously was the owner of the company when I was out on site, but what becoming the owner of the company meant was that I had to step away from a part of the business that I loved, which is the install side, and actually start doing the office side. Partly because Jess, my wife, went on maternity leave as we had our second daughter, and it meant that I had to fill that void and push forward and organise the office. So that kind of brings me on to the goals for 2024. The goals for 2024 for me personally is to get better at time management, as I'm sure a lot of company owners and just people in general want to do. But what I found is the demands on my time have just gone through the roof, and it's meant that every minute that I spend doing one thing, if that isn't the most important thing that I should be doing, then I'm sacrificing progress in the company or arranging another job. So I need to be really, really on it with prioritizing the tasks and the jobs that I'm doing and the time that I'm taking doing it. So that's one of my goals for 2024. Another personal goal for 2024 is to be more present with the family, and that goes back into the time management thing, actually allowing time there to be present at weekends, to when it's the weekend not be thinking I really should be getting on with that price, or I should go and empty the van, or all these different things that as a business owner you do, no matter if you're an electrician or a plumber or builder, whatever. We all have those sort of time pressures. So be present in the moment. Because the other thing is, when I'm at work, I'm thinking, I'd love to just spend a little bit of time with my daughter, this afternoon or something like that. And so be present in what you're doing and not feel guilty for not doing the other thing. As a business, I've named 2024 for Renewables as the year of the process. And that might sound high and mighty, which it definitely isn't. But what we've suffered with is we've gone from a one-man band style company where it's me in my little Belingo van, me and Ollie rolling around the country doing battery installs, the solar installs, to actually a company that employs, there's about 8 of us now, the mindset and what you have to have as a company when you move from that one-man band style to a proper company, there's a lot there to consider. Just stupid things, important things, but that feel a bit silly, like really nailing all of the health and safety side of things. But the big one was the year of the process for this year, and that is customer inquires either through any of our social media channels, through the website, through knocking at the front door. What is the process from that person going, I would like a quote for a solar PV system, a battery system, a EV charger, or all of the above? What is the process from going from that point to the point where they're giving us a 5-star review on Trustpilot or Google? That is what 2024 is for me as a business owner and for the whole office team. And that's a really important part of us scaling the business up, because if we haven't got that end-to-end process sorted, then there's no point in spending loads of money on doing these videos, doing ad campaigns to get more leads in, because as soon as that lead comes in, everything falls over. So that is what 2024 is, and we've already made some really good progress in the process. So that's really exciting. But trying to do that whilst also being in the trenches, as we call it, is quite difficult, because you're trying to change how everybody's operating whilst they're working with people who are inquiring and that need their jobs completing. So yeah, 2024 is the year of the process for us as a company, and that goes to on-site as well, making the on-site process better and more sleeker for the engineers on site, to make sure we're capturing all the information we need as we do it as well, so that if someone has a problem in the future, we've got all that information to hand, and it just saves those minutes. I'm trying to save those minutes for everybody in the company, because over the course of a year, that could be a couple of days' labour that we've saved on a specific task. So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to automate a lot of things as well, and really just push forward with the process. And I'm boring everybody around me with that. So now you're part of the club. Also, what's happened that we've seen towards the end of 2023 and going into 2024 has been competition. So for us, we set ourselves up as a company as operating towards the top end of the solar and battery system market. And that's not because we think we're better than everybody else or anything like that. It's that price point on the equipment that we install is a higher price point. We're not competing on a scale of price, really, like bottom of the barrel price. We don't want to be the cheapest. We can't make that pay. And I don't really think if any company thought about it, any of the companies could make that pay. So we're operating at a high level, but that means that Oval as a company has to offer you as the customer, or you as an electrician or a builder that uses us to do that job, we have to offer you value for that. And so that adds pressure, but pressure is good in that scenario because it means that we have to perform. And so that's what we're focusing on. But when I say competition has increased, there is a lot of people entering this market now that would never have thought about that, which competition is good, and it forces us to do better, to think about things a bit more, and to be flexible and energetic in what we do. But there is a lot of companies entering this market, which probably means that in about 5 years' time, there'll be a lot of systems that need repairing or need work doing, because not everybody entering this market will be honest, will be upfront, and will be good at what they do. There'll be a lot that will be, and I commend those for entering the market. But what I would say is to anybody watching this that's thinking of entering the market, please just respect the industry. It's not just a golden goose. Some of us have been in this for a long time, and we've helped build it into what it is. We don't want everyone coming in and kind of just stealing all the money from it and doing a bad job and giving it a bad name, because it takes a lot of years to get that back. Uniform. So we are doing a bit of a rebrand. We're not changing logos or anything like that, but we're changing the uniform around a little bit and just changing how we show the world what Oval is about. I'm going to leave it a little bit cryptic because it's not quite ready to release yet, but probably the next video that we do on this will show you the new uniform, the new branding, and I'll be able to go into a little bit more detail about why we're doing it and how hopefully that sets us apart from everybody else. That is about it for me sat at this table. I feel like Biden or Rishi Sunak or someone sat behind my podium, which is very rare for me. But I just wanted to have a bit of a have a bit of a, I was going to say detox, but a bit of a debrief of 2023 and 2024, because at the point of filming now, we're in March. And so usually this would be something that we'd do in January, but it has been, because I was so burnt out towards November, December, January was a bit of a, I don't want to swear, but it was a bit tricky because I'd kind of just ran towards Christmas. So we didn't quite get all the organisation for jobs for January, February sorted out in November, December, which we're definitely going to do this year for next year. It was a little bit stressful, and so that's caused us to just relax a little bit on the content. But we're starting to pull that round now, and very ready to show you a lot of the projects we've got going on this year. We've got some really cool ones if they come off, and some that we've already done that we've started filming. So I'm going to leave that there for my Biden style address, and I'm going to take you down into the warehouse to show you a few little changes that we've made down there. So before we go down to the warehouse, I want to just tell you about a little bit of stuff up here. A few plans up here. We're going to change this lighting out, which the plans are already in motion for that. But another thing we're going to try and do is try and make up here a little bit nicer for people to work in. I've never had an office like this before, so I am learning as I go and trying to work out what is best to do, and just to make it nice environments for people to come in, because I have found that when everybody's working in here, there's such a good atmosphere, and I just feel like a lot more gets done because everyone's able to collaborate, and it just feels a lot more like a company. Most of our people work from home or work remotely, but it is nice when everyone comes in. So it's all a bit of a mess at the minute because Jess isn't in. And that's not a woman should be cleaning thing, that is a woman's touch. Now, for guys, and I'm sure most of you will appreciate this as well, that watching this, we just pile stuff up and we'll deal with that later kind of thing. And that is very much where we're at the minute. However, there is a woman's touch in here. Follow me. Our first office plant. There we go. See, the environment is changing already, and that was something that Jess implemented when she came in to see how we were all doing. She'd been to Morrison's or somewhere and she saw it and she thought that'd be perfect for the office. So when she comes back in September, this will be like a forest in it, I'm sure, with plants, and there'll be stuff everywhere. So, but on a serious note, I am looking to get this to be just a real nice place for people to work. People want to come in and just have that collaborative feel. But anyway, let's go down to the warehouse now and we'll show you some more bits down there. Right, so we're down in the warehouse, obviously, and we're going to start from the front and work all the way to the back. Dean is there as well. Main man Dino has arrived to unload his van and to crack on with some bits here today as well. But you might have seen, if you follow the channel a little bit, we did a full video on installing the Sync EV charger, which has been working really well. One thing we're going to change with it though is we're just going to get a hardwired internet cable to it. I think with this metalwork and where our access point is, there's a problem with the internet. It's the same with our phone, so we're going to get a hardwired cable to that today as well from the rack. But yeah, otherwise it's been working really well. Follow through. A lot of this stuff, as you can see, is still quite messy. Partly because we put a bit of it away and then we go, oh, actually we want some rack in there, or we want to change where something is. So we've kind of just left it in the middle for now. But we're going to go through some of the racking and what we've been doing there. But over here, we've got our panel bay and our panel buddy. This is something I got the old man to do. I think I might be showing you this on one of the videos. So we've just adapted this and we've just got a handle on here now just to help us roll things around. We're going to have about 3 or 4 of these. We can sit a full pallet of panels on it, and it just allows us to move that pallet of panels round, or we can stack the panels up for a job and leave that in one of the job bays so the guys can then just pull that to the back of the van and then start unloading them into the van. So that's something that when the old man gets back from holiday, he's going to be making a few more of those. Got some panels over there ready to go, sort of stock. We've got a load of stuff here. We've got the fantastic PV Ultra. Shout out Doncaster Cables. We've got a few drums of that just here. Again, ready to be stored on some new racking that the old man, again, is going to be building. So he's got a busy time when he comes back from holiday. He's going to need another one by the time he comes back. If we just come around this side, this is one of the big changes that we've done. We've made this racking here for a lot of our solar edge kit. So this is full of inverters, backup interfaces, hub inverters, hot water diverters, basically a lot of solar edge kit. What we're going to do is going to have probably another 2 of these sticking out this way, because a lot of this area here is a little bit of dead space anyway, mainly because the vans are just going to come in and out a bit where like Dean's Park now to load up for the job bays. But hopefully if we come out to say here, or maybe a little bit further, that gives us so much more racking space to actually get stuff out the way. And what we're going to do with that is we're going to have batteries in there, inverters, cable and everything else, and actually have some order to this place. Because one thing that we need to do this year is really drill down on stock amounts, so that we can basically say we've got X amount of thousand in stock. We know minimum stock levels, so that our system, which Simpro does, can reorder stuff to keep us always at a minimum number of 3 kilowatt inverters or 5 kilowatt inverters, whatever we want. So it automatically raises those purchase orders and always keeps us in stock, which feels like a world away from where we are now, but we are working towards that. So yeah, this is full of stuff. Batteries on the bottom, obviously, because they're very heavy. Inverters on the middle, and then we've got optimizers, interfaces, hot water diverters on the top. It just allows us to compact everything. The amount of space that takes up when it's just on different pallets all over the place, basically where Dan is stood now, that was just full of pallets of just random stuff. So we've got that all compacted on here, and it'll probably change how we order it as well, just so that we can quickly reference exactly where stuff is. But that's that. This old racking here, we may end up changing this racking for something like this that's a bit wider and a bit bulkier, just so we can get bigger boxes on and stuff. But this was stuff that we had from our shipping containers, so we're kind of just working with that at the minute as well. One of our next big challenges really is getting the cable stored out the way, because that is just really hard to manage. That is that. We've got all of our trunking and everything stored, as you can see there. And then we'll also probably be making some racking for all of our fixing system, mids, ends, screws, joiners, optimizer clamps, just boxes and boxes of random stuff. All very important to what we need to have, but it's for now, like I mentioned, it's year of the process, trying to keep all of this tracked so that we know what we've got, where it is, and if we need to reorder anything. That's good. The job bays have been working really well. So part of these next couple of days, we're going to get the jobs packed for the next couple of weeks. And we've got 3 job bays here. These tables, there's only supposed to be 1 table in each bay, but they've been moved to where that racking was. So we're going to try and get that all arranged today as well. 3 job bays, and they're just working really well. Can just go there, text from the lads, all your stuff's in bay 3, and they know they've got the right inverter, the right stuff, because that's what's in bay 3. Welcome to the next fun part. So we're experimenting with a drop-off area, so that, because what I wanted to do, I wanted to get the guys to basically be in here as less time as possible, because they're not earning anything out when they're in here. I want them on the road, on site, doing the stuff, and to be honest, they do as well. They want to be doing the job, they want to be, progressing, rather than tidying loads of stuff up here or restocking stuff or whatever. So this here, we're just having a little play around with this. That's why it's made of pallets and things. But we're going to try and organise this. The guys can come, drop the boxes of kit into one space. We can then rebook that back in on Simpro, and that keeps our stock profile correct. And then we can then put that away back into the boxes, and it can go then ready for another job just there. And that helps us track how profitable the job was, because it allows us to track what's been used on that job, whilst also minimising the amount of time the guys have to mess about doing all of that as well. So that's what we're trying. So if you've got any tips on that, then let me know. But yeah, it's all a bit of a mess because we're just dumping loads of stuff off. Hence all of this here. Dean's just busy getting some more internet cables in. You can never have too much data stuff about, we found. The other thing we made was this spare cables rack. This is just for odds and sods. So these are all labelled up, what they are, how long they are, so that if on our design we need, like for this one, 10 metres of 10mm 3-core, we can go, oh, there's 10 metres there actually, we don't need to buy it, and try and use up some of these slack ends here. Even if it's we'll take a full drum and a couple of these offcuts, and then if we can use the offcuts, then we use them first. But yeah, that's all good. And there's not an awful lot more. We're just waiting on the delivery for all the all of the LED lights to go in here as well. and that'll be part of another video that we'll do, and we'll explore kind of how much it costs us to run these ones and how much it costs us to run the new LED ones, and then kind of compare that and sort of work out that saving. These don't get used an awful lot, mainly because this is a warehouse area and it's the ones upstairs, the fluorescents upstairs, that will have the biggest impact, changing them to LED panels, because yeah, we're up there most of the week and they're just burning away all day, whereas these are on and off throughout the day. The other thing we've got to try and sort is some signage. We need to try and get the signage sorted for the outside of the building, but again, it's always the last thing you want to do, because that's where a lot of the money gets disappeared into. Turn these on. Not a lot's changed here. This might be something we have a look at this week as well. We've still got this soundboarding to do, and we actually had a customer come yesterday, and they had to sit down here because they couldn't make it up the stairs. So it really kind of kicked me up the backside to say, right, we need to get something sorted in here. But you prioritise what you need, and we haven't needed this until then. So we're going to look at trying to get this place sorted as well, which the old man might be as well getting on with. So I might have to take him on the books. But yeah, so there's a lot to do in here still, but we're trying to just do it whilst also running a company. So it's not the easiest, but something we definitely need to do. Yeah, I think that's about it really. I don't know if I've just mumbled my way through all of that or not really, but hopefully that's given you a bit of an insight into where we're at the minute, the challenges, the tasks that we've got for this year, and the changes that will hopefully take place. But I'm really excited about this year. I feel like it's going to be our year, and with the plans that we've got, some of the jobs that we've got in the pipeline, hopefully our best year to date. And if we can get the content coming out nice and regularly, doing some really interesting stuff with that, and also a bit of the rebrand with the company and the new ethos around the company, or reaffirming the ethos with the company, which I don't want to give too much away at the minute, will be really exciting. Thanks very much for watching, and yeah, we'll keep these coming as regular as possible when there's a new update. But yeah, hopefully you find this interesting, as well as our installs. We've got some other ideas as different videos we're going to do as well. So thanks very much for watching. Follow, subscribe, all that stuff. You know what to do. Thanks very much.